Hello, composition students. I'm Robin Lang, one of the Instructional Services Librarians here at Ryan Library. This presentation demonstrates evaluating sources for quality and shows several shortcuts to help you efficiently and effectively find high-quality sources in Google, which you need to find for source number 4 in your library research assignment. Topics covered in this presentation are high-quality sources and privilege, evaluating internet sources for quality, Google search algorithm and PageRank, identifying online source metadata, and Google Scholar. Did you know Google only accesses between 2 to 5% of the internet? The other 95% of what's available online is in what's known as the deep web. Expert researchers know you have to balance your research with both sources found in the deep web and sources found freely available online, such as through open access in Google and other search engines. So what's in the deep web? Well, anything password protected or not findable by search engine bots, which includes library databases, private social media accounts, bank accounts, transcripts, medical records, and unlisted blogs. Keep in mind, much of the world's high-quality information is trapped behind logins and paywalls. For example, you might have seen a paywall in Google Scholar that asks you to pay $39.95 to access a journal article. By the way, never do that. The library can always request an article through interlibrary loan if we don't have access to it already. To access high-quality peer-reviewed journal articles, you usually have to go through a university's library subscription. To access Ryan Library's databases, you must be a current student, staff, or faculty member, which is why you're required to log in. Consider this privilege and consider who does not have access to high-quality information in the world and who does not have access to high-quality education. What barriers are there to becoming a scholar or expert? Consider whose voices are missing or underrepresented in your results list and seek out those voices. Whether a source is authoritative depends on the context and your research question. In some instances, you might need the expertise of a medical doctor, and in some, you might need the account of an eyewitness. When conducting research in Google, be especially careful about only using high-quality sources. There's plenty of information out there, so there's no reason to use a poor quality source or a source you're not sure about. If you'd like help evaluating whether a source is trustworthy or not, ask a librarian. When evaluating websites and other sources you find online, consider these indicators of authority, which are also listed on the How to Do Research Guide Session 2 tab. Ask if the author is an expert or eyewitness. Consider who is behind the website, who's the publisher or sponsor, who is responsible for the website's upkeep and hosting. What are their motives? Are they selling a product, a service, or a point of view? How current or up-to-date is the information, or is it outdated and incorrect? Overall, how trustworthy does this site strike you as? If you come across any red flags or anything you're not sure about, move on to a different source. When conducting research online, it's important to keep in mind that Google is an advertising company that makes money on your data trail and by advertising to you while you're using the search engine. Google wants to make you happy, so you'll return to it as your favorite search engine. So it tries to guess what you want to see in your results list. The problem with this is that it creates an echo chamber, meaning you'll have to dig deeper to retrieve sources on a variety of perspectives on a topic. It's important to understand how Google prioritizes results at the top of its results list, and to keep in mind that results at the top are not necessarily there because they're higher quality than other results further down. It's helpful to understand how Google personalizes your search results and how Google PageRank works. Google personalizes your results based on your prior searches and your demographics, which include your age, gender, location, such as neighborhood and country. You could be sitting next to a friend in a computer lab, type in the same exact search terms, and get different results. It's also important to understand how Google PageRank privileges results compared to other results. PageRank prioritizes sites that are mobile friendly. It also prioritizes sites that have the most links to and from it, which is why you see Wikipedia often at the top of a Google results list. It's not because Wikipedia is necessarily a higher quality source than any of the results further down. It also will prioritize results that have fewer or no grammatical and spelling errors. So these reasons don't necessarily add up to a high quality source. In this presentation, one of our objectives is learning how to limit our results in Google to find high quality sources and learning how to quickly and efficiently sift through our results to find high quality sources. There are a couple of helpful shortcuts in Google that you should learn. They're listed here and on the library's How to Do Research Guide Session 2 tab. The site colon limiter allows you to limit your results to a certain domain, such as .gov or .edu, or to a specific website, such as a newspaper's website. You can see in my example here that I've searched for the phrase human rights and refugees and limited my results to the website for the New York Times newspaper. When searching a phrase of 2 words or more, such as human rights, always put the phrase in quotation marks to ensure you'll retrieve results with the phrase exactly as you've typed it. The Control-F shortcut is a quick way to search a web page or other document for a keyword to determine if the source is on your topic. You might have to try several synonyms for your topic to be certain. I'm going to demonstrate using search limiters in Google, and I'll also walk you through how to evaluate a source and where to find the metadata, such as the publisher and publication date for a website. Let's type in our search term, human rights. Because it's a phrase of 2 words, I'll put it in quotation marks. I'll also add in the second keyword to refugees. We've gotten 59 million results. Keep in mind that you're still only searching a small percentage of what's available out there. A lot of high quality content is not available on Google and is only available through library databases. The first set of results we see here are from Google Scholar. A lot of these actually won't be available to you in full text. You would have to request them through the library. If we don't have an article that you find in Google Scholar that you'd like to read, order it through Interlibrary Loan and we'll email you a copy of it. Never pay for an article. The nice thing in Google Scholar is that you can limit your results by date. You cannot do that as easily in regular Google. The second set of results we have here are from Wikipedia. We all know that we don't want to cite Wikipedia in academic level research, but one way to use Wikipedia in academic research is to look at the references section of an article. Oftentimes, these sources here are higher quality than the actual Wikipedia article itself. Also pay attention to the See Also section and the external links section. Wikipedia articles show up at the top of Google results list because there are a lot of links to and from this article. It's not necessarily because this article is higher quality content than any of the results listed further down. Often in Google, you'll have to click through several pages of results. Let's take a look at this first website. It's a .org, and it tells us it's Human Rights Watch. If you're not familiar with them, look at the About Us page. And this actually tells us that they are an NGO working on the behalf of human rights. They're a nonprofit, so this would be a high quality source. If you wanted to cite this website, scroll down and look for the copyright symbol right here. And we also can find next to it the date of publication, 2020, and the name of the publisher, Human Rights Watch, which happens to be the name of the website itself. Let's go back to the results list. Second item down, let's take maybe a look at this one here. This is from something called unhcr.org. And it turns out to be a PDF. It's not really clear who's behind the PDF. If this report is something that you wanted to cite, make sure you understand who is providing it. So let's delete the second half of the URL and just go back to that home page that is providing this PDF to us. It's actually from the UN High Commissioner on Refugees. So this would be considered a high quality source. Always go to the About Us page if you're not familiar with the website or an organization. If you want to use this in your paper, you would have to find the copyright information. So down here, copyright symbol, the name of the publisher, United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights is the same name as of the website, and the publication date would be 2020. Let's go back to that results list. And let's say that we want to limit our results to a specific website. We can do that quickly by typing in the limiter site : and then the name of a website for a newspaper. So let's try the New York Times. Their website is newyorktimes.com. Notice there's no space between the colon and the beginning of the URL. We went from 59,000 items or 59 million items to 13,000. All of these are articles by the New York Times on human rights and refugees. If we scroll down, this first one is a blog opinion piece. It might be interesting to read, but I would not cite this in an academic paper unless you have good reason. Let's look for a well-researched and closely vetted article, a regular newspaper article, and let's try to avoid opinion pieces for academic research. This next article, it's written in 2016, so that's a little old. I'd like something from 2019 or more recent. This is also an opinion piece, but this one here is from September 6th, 2019. Let's take a look at it. Here we have the name of the website is the New York Times. The name of the article is "What is the refugee program and why does the Trump administration want to make cuts?" That would go in your citation if you were to cite this. Here we have the author's name. If you ever had the option to look at an author's bio, always take a look to determine if this person is an expert and is professional. And it looks like she has won the Pulitzer Prize for her reporting. And if you scroll down, here are other articles she's written for the New York Times. So I would say this would be a trustworthy author. If we wanted to cite this article, you need to know the publication date, which is here, September 6, 2019. And at the bottom of the page, we have the copyright symbol, the year of publication, and the publisher's name is actually the New York Times Company. Let's go back to that results list. We can also limit our results to not just a specific website, but we can limit to a specific domain. So if you're interested in government websites, the U.S. government, you could type in .gov. If you'd like a website from an institution of higher education, like a university, you could type in .edu. So here we have 182,000 items that are published by the U.S. government. Let's take a look at, this one is from the State Department, it looks at state.com. Here it tells us it's from the U.S. Department of State. That is the name of the website. It's also the name of the publisher. Here it looks like we have an author, and if you scroll down, you can find out more information about this page. If you have any questions about evaluating a website, feel free to contact a librarian. If you're not sure about a website, if you get any kind of red flag warning, you can just move on to a different site. There's a lot of information available online. There's really no need to use a poor quality source. Google Scholar can be a great resource, but keep in mind that many of the articles you find in your results list there will not be available in full text, and some will ask you to pay, for example, $39.95 to access the full article. Never pay for an article. First check to see if Rand Library provides it. For help with this, you can contact the librarian. If the library does not have a copy, you can request a copy through interlibrary loan, and the article will be emailed to you. You'll often see results in Google Scholar from PubMed, which is an open source database, meaning it's free, that provides high quality peer-reviewed journal articles. It's sponsored by the NCBI, the National Center for Biotechnology Information, the National Library of Medicine, and the National Institutes of Health. Take a look at the screenshot I've included. At first glance, you may think that this is a regular website, but it's actually a journal article. A common mistake students make is citing an article found in PubMed using the website citation format, which would be incorrect. The article title is "The Needs of Refugee Women." If you look closely, the information in the yellow oval tells you the article title, which if you hover over says Gender and Development. It also says this article was published in 1995, which means it's outdated, by the way. The article number, the volume number is 3, the issue number is 2, and the page range is listed as well. You would need all that information for your citation. If you have questions about anything you saw in this video or in a different video, or about the library research assignment, please don't hesitate to ask a librarian. You can email us, instant message us, or text us, and we'll respond as quickly as we can. I hope that you're all staying well and will be in touch.